inexplicable phenomena to expand our minds and remind us that our cleverness has limits. Is our universe just part of a multiverse? Why does time exist? Why does anything exist? Do we matter? The pilgrimage of intellectual inquiry is one that each of us must make alone, into the dark realm of the stars and galaxies, to the limits of the universe, to that boundary of space and time where the mind and heart encounter the ultimate mystery, the known unknowable. It is here at this nexus that you will truly find the authentic Illuminati's prima materia. And you're listening to KIPM. These rich soundscape-laden radio segments of mine are embedded with a dormant meme, which only awaits activation. You can think of these units of information as a form of internal medicine. Only in the vaults of the Illuminati prima materia will you find reference to such electronic earwig, which, once inserted into the ear, well, there's no going back. Survival in the future will be based on our ability to increase our individual and collective awareness, our intelligence, expanding the spectrum of information we receive, improving our models for analyzing these facts objectively, and developing more powerful modes of transmitting updated signals to others. In my lifetime, the state and corporate America have attempted and further have indeed successfully managed to control almost all media outlets. Almost the entire radio and TV spectrum is controlled by a very few powerful enterprises who in turn are controlled by a very select ruling elite. I don't think that most individuals realize how little variety of programming content actually exists on radio today. Even in its golden age, the actual potential of radio as a media was only touched upon. Today, this variety is eroded to practically nothing. Radio offers the potential for so much more imaginative work for the listener than, say, television. It's in this sense that we might perhaps give some credence to the otherwise dubious proposition that radio is good and television evil. For television occupies the bottom rung on the scale of imagination in media. TV is to the imagination what virus is to DNA. The magic of radio gives one a medium of absence, unlike television. More like a book, really, only more so, since books leave you alone in the light, where radio leaves one alone in the dark, where the only light is the warm illumination of the receiver's dials.
As fine as a spider's web. It lives on wax, feeds on the innards of flowers, and it has a decided liking for the human ear. Well, once in the ear, it's 1,000 to 1 chance of it ever coming out the same way again. It can't turn round. Backing out is impossible. So it continues to feed as it goes, and it crawls right inside of the head. With the result, ultimately, it reaches the brain. With the result that, that's the end of it. The complete end of it.
Productions that take the listener on a voyage of the imagination. Each listener perceives my work in his or her own way. The motivation for my shows comes from many different sources. My programming may be criticized both publicly and privately, but listener, remember those old words that it is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbled, or where the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes up short again and again, who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, and spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who knew neither victory nor defeat. As for me, well, as Hal 9000 once stated, I'm putting myself to the fullest possible use, which is all I think that any conscious entity can ever hope to do.
I know everything happens inside life this week, but I can assure you now,
closed immediately until further notice. Sports gatherings and all gatherings for purposes of entertainment and amusement, whether outdoor or indoor, which involve large numbers congregating together, are prohibited until further notice. This refers especially to gatherings for purposes of entertainment. But people are earnestly requested not to crowd together unnecessarily in any circumstance.
Listeners think that to listen suffices. I would like to broadcast texts which cause listeners to seize, or at least reflect on the secrets that are the last screamed messages of a witch or heretic burning at the stake. You hem and haw, stammer, take refuge in ideological platitudes. Do you possess both imagination and will? Can you both dream and dare? I share with the more reactionary moralists the presumption that art really can affect reality.
Everything that you do, everything that happens in your life is political. It's no longer adequate for us to say that we're going to have revolution by any means necessary. You have to begin to define the means that are necessary.
My shows are exhortations to hijack reality. I consider myself a radio artist, yet I'm not any different from you. One should reflect on the idea that the artist is not a special sort of person, but every person is a special sort of artist. Are you the next pirate radio operator? Those that are mute lose their chance. We can retain ourselves at this late date to become finders of the hidden treasure. In Bimini, on an old Spanish main, a girl once said to me, "Those that hunt treasure must go alone at night, and when they find it, they will have to leave a little of their blood behind them." I had never heard a finer, cleaner estimate of the price of wisdom. The girl had given me unknowingly the latitude and longitude of a treasure. A treasure more valuable than any other that I could possibly ever share.
We have to consider ourselves as the authors of new justice. And wherever we find injustice and tyranny, we must stamp it. We must kill it. Our job is to seize that and to make the world more humane. Yes, you. You're there. Yes, you. Stop what you're doing. Turn around and put your hands in the air.
I've known and shared time with during my days. So many now lost to me. They were lost in rock formations or became park bench mutations on the sidewalks and in the stations. They were waiting, so I got bored and I left them there. They were just dead weight to me. Better down the road without that load, through libraries and museums, galaxies and stars, down the windy halls of friendship. The motel of lost companions waits with heated pool and bar. But me, I'm not stopping there. I got my own road to hoe. Just another line in the field of time. People tell me that the many shows that I've produced over the years give me a kind of immortality in a way, in that my thoughts and feelings, my creations will go on long after I stop. But I'd like to make it perfectly clear, I don't want to achieve immortality through my work. I want to achieve immortality through not dying. I don't want to live in the hearts of my countrymen. I'd rather live in my apartment.
The visitors are eager to know men of knowledge like you. It may seem strange at first to meet them, but I know you'll be above minding that.
Occupation, underwater welder. As an underwater welder, moving from one oil rig to another off the coasts of the continents, working in the immense pressures of the deep sea is commonplace. Living and working on these island platforms has given me the opportunity to broadcast mini pirate shows to a global audience using the ground plane of the ocean to maximize my signal, that thus amplified using personally engineered equipment created partially from components of my modified industrial underwater welding equipment. Transformers so large that they take 3 men to move. I have always been at home at sea. Nothing, however, could prepare me for events that occurred years ago while stationed on a far-removed oil platform. One night, deep in the icy solitude of the ocean floor, something unexplainable happened. It was a mysterious supernatural encounter that changed my life forever. Down there in the vastness of the ocean, deep below where even the light of a blowtorch is swallowed up in the darkness, there is a doorway. And on the other side, memories just as dark, and the cold, wet embrace of the Illuminati's prima materia. Treasures that are only found buried deep below the surface. I am Alan Maxwell, and I am the underwater welder.
In our we have discovered that a force surrounding the magnet, really an extension of mass. How shall I say it, mass that extends into another dimension? Well, let me put it this way. This magnet is really a miniature model of all things. The earth, sun, trees, cells. Everything is shaped by magnetic fields. And what we have discovered in this invisible field is a doorway into the fourth dimension.
I hope to be back to share more of these hidden treasures soon. But for now, my time has run out. I have time only to say, on my voyages, I have discovered there are no secrets, only hidden truths that lie beneath the waves, below the surface, in the depths. I'm Alan Maxwell. Join me here again next time.
Surface. Valves open. Depth gauge 30. 40. 80.
Listening to KIPM's Voyage of the Illuminati with Alan Maxwell. This episode was titled Anomaly XAM 9000. Join me here again next time when we take another voyage into the pages of the Illuminati's Prima Materia. The show is almost over. Our work is nearly complete. Our very own painting on our very own cave wall. Time will no longer be a dark spot on our lungs. They will no longer be able to say, you would have had to have been there. Because the fact is, listener, you were.
Forgive me if I seem abrupt, but I really must must get busy. It isn't easy to keep devising new fun and games. We got so much power now. It's not even
If you never wanted to do anything that was dangerous, where should we be if nobody tried to find out what lies beyond? You never wanted to look beyond the clouds and the stars and what changes a darkness into light. And if you talk like that, people call you crazy. Well, if I could discover just one of these things, but eternity is for a think I was crazy.